Okay.
Okay, assalamu alaikum, Sister Melek.
Alaikum
Nice to
salam.
see you again. So, just for your permission, we're recording this and I might be able to
Yes.
share it on,
Yes.
yes, I'm sharing it. Okay, that's fine. So tell me more about your story, because I remember the last session we had was about you finding your why, and somehow that transformed your life. So
Yes.
tell me
And we were
more.
talking about the idea of attracting the abundance. Yes. So like I was telling you, just a second ago, um, I'm here and I actually have the job where I'm at, and I was going to stay here. I didn't have any problems, but I was missing my friends. So I went back to Oklahoma, the last week of Ramadan, just went back and visited my friends. And one of my friends that I hadn't talked to in a couple of years had become the principal of an Islamic school there. And it was one that I had worked at back in, like, prior to actually before 911. I worked there and 911. And she said, and so we were talking about the shape of the school and the difficulties that they were facing and all the things that they needed. And she just sort of jokingly turned around and said, "Well, what would it take for you to come back here?" And I was like, "Well, I have my job and I'm okay with my job, but if you could get this and this," and I put, like, I would want this kind of condition and I would want that kind of condition. And she says, "Okay." And just sort of left it, and she didn't say anything else. And after I left Oklahoma, she actually went to the director of the school and she said, "Sister Malek's ready to come back, but she wants this, this, and this," and listed all the things that I had told her. And he came back, he was like, "Oh, well, I can only afford to pay her this amount and da 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 da." And so she called me and I was like, "No, I've got my job. I'm okay with my job. I love my job. I'm happy where I'm at." And like a week later, could only have been about 1 week later, she calls me on the phone and she said, "I went over his head. I went to the school board. It's unanimous. They all agreed to it. Everything that you wanted, everything that you told me you wanted for your perfect job, they're willing to give to you." And I
Wow,
was like,
that's
"You're
amazing.
kidding me. Like, how could that be? I never expected that." Well, sometimes and what they did is that sort of wavers your heart. There's the school there. I love the school. I helped build it. And then there's the school here, and I love the school, and I love working at the school. And the next day I was talking with my husband about it, and I was telling him, "Oh, but if I go there or if I stay here," he gets a phone call in the middle of our phone conversation, and the mall where he has his business calls him and tells him, "We just found out that we won a big chain and they want your location in the mall. So as of the end of this month, your store is closed. They will be moving in." And so now I was like, and just like that, you're without a job. So the whole weekend, him and I were talking about, okay, that means we're going to have to get this stuff out of the store and do this and that. And he said, "Well, what if we did go back to Oklahoma?" He started to think that way. "What if we did go back to Oklahoma?" And I said, "Well, I'll have to look into housing and stuff." And I no sooner put the words out of my mouth, and a friend of mine said, "Hey, if you're coming back this way, the house directly across the street from the school just went up for rent." And she said she went in the middle of the night and took a picture of it and sent it to me for the phone number. The next morning at Fajr, I'm sending him a message. I'm just like some information about the house and, how much do you want? Just every time we said, "What about this?" that thing fell into my lap. Within 4 days, the entire move is organized, just like that. And all I did was sort of put it out there. This is the job I would want, and these are the conditions I would want. And it happened. Everything literally fell right into my lap. And that's drawing that drawing that blessing to you. So
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess it's very powerful. It tells you, like, you say they find you why and you find your way. And
yes.
people say that, but it's so different when you're like
And
experience it in real
sometimes you
life.
find your why and the way finds you. And that's how I felt. Like that whole weekend, everything happened around me. I didn't do anything. I didn't call anybody and say, hey, I want this job. I just, was sort of joking around. What would it do to make you come back? Oh, I would want this, this, and this, and oh, what about someplace to live? What about this situation, that scenario? Every single time that just aligned itself up. And within 4 days, the entire move back to Oklahoma was put completely organized. And I was standing there, and when I let them know here, this is the funny thing, is she goes, my director says, oh, I'm so shocked by this. And I looked at her, I was like, I'm shocked too, trust me.
Yeah.
But when you find your why, sometimes the way finds you. And that's really how I felt like that all just played out. Like that way, it found me.
Oh, that's
But
amazing. So you grew
again,
up in a
yeah,
Mhm.
again, if you're not paying attention to your moment, and if you're not paying attention to what's going on around you, you're going to miss all of those messages. The
Right.
little question, the hey, what about this, that, and just have all those messages come immediately. And I was turning around going, okay, there's a message from the universe. Okay, there's a message from the universe.
Yeah, that's
and
amazing.
and I didn't have to struggle with my values. I didn't have to struggle. There's just no question left that this was the direction I was meant to go.
And how, I know you have like 6 children. How do they feel about the move? Because you're from Oklahoma, right? Is
Yes,
that where you're
yes,
from?
yeah. And yeah, 3 of them were born in Oklahoma. The youngest 3 were all born in Oklahoma. My one son that still lives in Oklahoma is very happy that I'm coming. And the other kids, they're actually sort of excited because for the first time they're going to be adulting in their own state. They're all going to stay here in Florida.
Oh,
So they're
okay. So
all
you're leaving
looking
me
at this.
behind.
Yeah, they're looking at this as not so much as an experiment, but they are looking at this as an adventure, which is something that I've instilled in them. Okay, when life makes a turn, think of it as an adventure. And now they're saying, oh, wait a minute, mom's going to go back there. We're all here. We all have jobs. We all have school. We all have this. So we're going to stay here. And I was like, yeah, and I'm only a Zoom call away. So like, I can
Um,
still mom if I need to.
yeah, sure. Yes,
They're like,
yes,
they're
yes.
thinking about it as an adventure. This is a big step for them too, that they're going to be literally out here on their own. So
Do you still have family there, like brothers, or because I know you're from Oklahoma, so your
yeah,
family's there,
no,
right?
my dad now, he lives out in Nevada. He's sort of semi-retired out there. And so yeah, that's the only family I have. But I have 25 years of roots in Oklahoma. So
Amazing.
lots of
Amazing.
friends there, and it was really nice to be able to go back and catch up with all of them. And now that I've like sort of let everybody know that I'm coming home, they're like, you're coming home.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing, right? Amazing feeling. Just the sense of belonging and just going back to all of these memories and people
Yes,
that you love.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Sister Matt, for sharing your story with us today. Is there any final thoughts that you want to share before I end the recording?
I think that's, I think everybody really would definitely benefit from just paying attention to what's going on around them. We tend to get so caught up in what we're chasing after that we forget sometimes things are chasing after us. And just like that 4 days, everything in my life was completely turned upside down.
Do you feel grateful for that? Yes. I think you're getting disconnected. So
Yeah.
you froze
Yes.
a little bit there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm just happy to say to myself, you know what? You were paying attention this time. When you were getting those messages, you were paying attention to what was happening. And yeah, it's good.
Mhm.
It's a
Thank you.
good thing.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah. Thank
Oh,
you. Lovely. I really enjoyed hearing the whole story. It's just, yeah, very uplifting. Very
and it's
uplifting
goosebumpy
indeed.
because like every time I think
Yeah.
about it, and I'm the one living it and I'm getting goosebumps.
I'm getting them too. just it's kind of infectious. They say smiles and
But
good feelings,
I have to thank you for that. I really, really do. There's so much that I have changed in my life. I can't say that I've changed in my life, that I have rediscovered about my life. And a lot of that is that I would say probably 95% of that was just sitting with you and just reconnecting to those things that I had stopped listening to and really finding that guidance again. That a lot of that is from you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. And from Allah, yeah, from God.
Yes, definitely from Allah.
Right.
Allah sent you to me and told her, now listen, and because something big is coming, and something big came. So, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. And congratulations. I'm so
Thank you.
grateful that you're enjoying this, and that's such wonderful news. It's amazing. We will miss you here though. So I don't know.
I'm definitely
But you
gonna
will be
miss you
visiting
too.
because you have family here, so we could still see you.
Yep,
Okay.
I will be back, inshallah.
Okay, so gonna stop the recording here. Thank you so much, sister.
You're so
Assalamu
welcome.
alaikum. Bye. Bye.